Are you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest guests?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan?
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride, Amy Houde.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Houde, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, kicking things off, and man, fun group of guests we got on the line today. We got my good friend Jarod DeAnda calling in. Jarod DeAnda, man, most of you that are tuning in this show, you know who he is. Pretty much the voice of motorsports, action sports, you name it. You know, he's an announcer, TV host, personality, just an all-around fun guy. And tell you what, Jarod likes to drink and partake in some beer once in a while. So definitely a fun guy. And then my good friend Bucky Lasek, one of the greatest skateboarders of all time. Now he is a badass rally car driver. He's going to be on the line. And I don't know. And then we got Amy Houde. So life doesn't get much better.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's been a long week. But, Jim, as you know, and I should tell everybody because it's kind of funny, but I dropped my cell phone in a porta potty on Sunday, and so I'm calling you from a landline right now. I have a terrible loaner phone, but, that happened.
You're bringing back the flip phone. You are a trendsetter. You're getting rid of the iPhone, and you're bringing back the flip phone. I think it's all a style thing.
Choice.
Yeah.
Not by choice.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We come back, we're going to have Jarod DeAnda on the line, talking Formula Drift, Rallycross, action sports, and a whole lot more.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, and just as I say Jim Beaver and Amy Houde here, we are joined on the line by my good friend Jarod DeAnda. How's everything going, Jarod?
Good, thank you, Jim, and thank you, Amy.
Man,
welcome.
Yeah, how long has it been since you've been on air? Like at least a year, huh?
I would say over. We probably talked after Long Beach Round 1, 2000 last year, 2015.
Dude, that's just wrong. My apologies, man. We ought to.
Oh, don't.
Dude, you're a guy I could have on every single week because you and I get to talking, dude, and it's like full on, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, actions speak louder than words, and there's way bigger celebrities or people of interest or drivers and pilots of these machines that do way more dangerous stuff than me just talking about it and cranking some beers after the event.
Yeah, you're resident Mike Slayer, right?
Right, exactly. Just like you guys.
Yeah. So no, hey man. No, I know we got to talk some Formula Drift, but I got to say you've been uber busy. I love you, dude. You're what? I mean, we've got Formula Drift, Red Bull GRC. You're doing a little bit of off-road stuff. I know you even did Red Bull Crashed Ice a year or so ago. I mean, you did Frozen Rush. I mean, you're bouncing all over the place, buddy.
Yeah, I'm definitely blessed as far as, Formula Drift is kind of where I started cutting my teeth. It's my 13th year of announcing Formula Drift, and it's just, airplane talk, right? You kind of sit next to somebody in an airplane, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? Well, I'm going to Montreal, Canada. I announced Formula Drift, and, well, what's drifting? Or they go, oh, I've heard of that. There's this guy named Ken Block. He doesn't know. That's not drifting. That's Jim Conning, and, and kind of just elaborate from there. So over the last 13 years, I've been blessed to work with some great companies and some great events and good people. And, it's funny, like I was just thinking about it, like I don't post a lot of car photos because I post like friends and family and the party and the experience and just all of it, because I think there's just way more important people that like put an event on, and like the podiums and the celebration, the payoff. And then there's also like the bummer points, like of people getting knocked out in Formula Drift or people suffering with incidental contact and they have to brake. So, I mean, over the last 13 years, I've been blessed to hang out with some phenomenal people. But yeah, Formula Drift, GRC, Score International. I'm kind of Switzerland, so I work with Monster. I work with Red Bull. I'm doing a kid's birthday party this weekend, which is my son's own birthday party. I'm MC that. No, I'm kidding. I'm not working that. But constantly moving. I mean, I did about 115,000 miles last year, 130,000 miles the year before.
Wow.
So you're kind of like the sports gypsy, if you will, bouncing around all over the place.
I like that. Yeah, that's like a racer. I mean, they want to get their hands on the steering wheel or the handlebars, right? And any opportunity they're given, if it's you guys doing more UTV stuff, or if it's Terracross, or I would look at myself similar to a DJ, where I'm down to book a gig and kind of let's look at the schedule and see what's going on. And I'm a different flavor, just like everybody else is. It depends on what you want to do, and I'm proud of my product, and I like having fun and doing a service to the racers, because at the end of the day,
that's really what makes you the best at what you do, is having a taste of a little bit of everything. That's how you kind of master your craft and perfect your trade. So it's good that you're open to anything. A lot of people just pick one thing and roll with it, but I feel like it's best to be the gypsy. I am very much the same thing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Definitely blessed. And, it's all been word of mouth. Everybody's like, do you have like a manager? I'm like, my wife, she's my manager. She tells me, no, you have to come home the day after the event. Yeah. You can't go party or go tubing. But mind you, I had a good time Sunday in Montreal, biking around and drinking some beers.
Dude, that looks so much fun on the bikes, just being able to hang out and literally cruise Montreal. Like I saw that, and I'm like, if I knew this was going down, I would have flown over from Maine and went to Montreal and hung out for the day.
Oh, yeah, you were right there, dude. You're up in the mix.
Jim has never been to Canada, not at all. And his co-host is Canadian, so I feel that's a big shame on his part. But Montreal is definitely the place to go if you want to go see a little bit of Canadian culture. Obviously, the French side of it, but Montreal is crazy. Let me break it down for you. That place is insane.
So. Yeah, where are you from? Where are you from in Canada?
I am from Manitoba, so basically if you're flying from the East Coast to the West, you miss us. We're as flat can be, but we have the sickest motocross tracks in Canada. I'm pretty sure we have that black chocolate cake dirt, and it's nice. I mean, I'm just a skip and a hop from Minnesota, and yeah, so
we
winter
you can call it what? Has anybody ever called it like Womanitoba or something like that? Like Womanitoba?
No, we call it Winterpeg because we have 9 months of winter. It's terribly freezing here, but yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I know. I didn't know you're from Canada.
Canada, definitely. That's it.
All right, so we got to talk, talking about Montreal, we got to talk a little bit, though. We got to roll into some Formula D talk here, man. I got to tell you, this year has been crazy good, buddy, and you got a guy, I mean, a guy like Forsberg, and it seems like he's so uber consistent with the podiums right now. I mean, Osbo, the past couple of years, he's just been on point. I mean, it's been an exciting year. I mean, Vaughn, we've seen the resurgence of Vaughn, not that he ever went anywhere, but it's just been a crazy year.
Yeah, it's been one for the books. It's had, to be quite honest, some emotional up and downs. Round one, Chelsea Genofa gets the win, and the stars align for him because he's just kind of been this dark horse and just has had a string of bad luck and gremlins. But then the stars align for him in Long Beach. That's kind of what everybody – but then he unfortunately just couldn't back it up. He had some engine issues. Then he got caught with some adhesive on his tires, so that he got removed from a round of competition, so that was kind of sticky. So that's why I say some ups and downs. But then you get Vaughn getting Jr., getting the victory in Atlanta, and he's like back to his championship form. And then, as you said, Frederick Osbo, like I said at the podium, he's got a rock star on his back. He's got a rock star on his back, but also a target because he's the defending champion. So it seems like it's the dialogue and the narrative of the conversation about drifting right now is, man, that you're seeing the same people, but you have to think they're getting more seat time. Because you're seeing the usual suspects, like you said, Forsberg, Vaughn Jr. But if you look at it collectively, there's been 3 BMWs on the podium. Odie Bakshi, he's in the mix. He's currently 4th in point. So there's these dudes that are kind of always bridesmaids, never bride, because Forsberg hasn't gotten a win. He has podiums, but he hasn't gotten a win since 2014. So that's been 2 years. Yeah. If you look at it, over almost 2 years, obviously at the end of the season. So, but, the big thing was in New Jersey, there was a lot of controversy over Chris Forsberg hitting Forrest Wang, him retiring and coming back after 6 days. So what's interesting there is the emotion factor of, was Forsberg depicted as a bully because he hit him, Forsberg, and then Forrest had big angle that he slowed down. The judges said 3-3, unanimous decision. Forsberg gets the win, but Forsberg still got pinned because he retired. It was just this really unfortunate circumstance, and I'm not going to go into great length because that could take up my whole entirety of this conversation. But boom, Formula Drift bounces back with an insane round in Montreal because what's cool is a lot of the drivers have never been there, or they've been there in different capacities, but not to this degree with this many cars. 28 total cars. Unfortunately, Tyler McQuarrie crashes out, but 27 cars going head-to-head in a track and at a track that is essentially Canada's Irwindale, and I say that because it's fast and the fans are very educated because drifting is in Irwindale it's kind of synonymous to Talladega, it's a Monaco, whatever analogy you want to use. It's a Crandon, right?
Yeah, it's the house of drift,
like that. Yeah, it's the house of drift. Thank you. So it's kind of like Le House of Drift. So it being in Montreal. So the fans are very educated, and they got nuts. and they stayed till the very end, and rightfully so, because some of the best battles just ensued all the way towards the end. Obviously, Oslo and Forsberg, I have to say, was a great battle, but even better was Forsberg and Houde. I think everybody agreed, including all the haters, that that was kind of the battle of the evening. So it was just good to bounce back after just a controversial round in New Jersey, which creates just some, I call it the circus track, creates some really interesting dynamics. But then, boom, we go into Canada, and it was just all guns a-blazing for everybody. And I think all the drivers and all the fans and everybody was just like, holy crap, that was insane.
Yeah, it looked amazing. Hey, we got to take a short commercial break, Jarod. You can hang out for a couple minutes through the commercial break and and talk a little more on all kinds of stuff when we come back. All right, we're going to be back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, right after this.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lasek and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, and my good friend Jarod DeAnda on the line. And I got to say, Jarod, switching gears a bit, I know it's funny, you were talking about, Formula Drift and all this other stuff you do, and it's so funny. It seems like, especially in the past, 5 years, how all, we've had this, action, I call it action motorsports, kind of take over, and, it seems like, before you had guys specializing in one certain thing, and, and now it seems like it seems like guys are crossing over. I mean, you know, I was talking to TORC last night through text, and they're out testing this truck, him and Forsberg, for the Baja 1000, you know, and you've got Vaughn, who's doing stuff in the UTV space, and, you know, and he did King of the Hammers, and, you know, obviously Ken Block is all over the grid doing all kinds of stuff, and you've got Bucky, you know, and he's doing rally and stage rally, and, you know, it's crazy. I mean, to me, it's like, it's just become one huge industry. It used to be, you know, everything was kind of fractured and separated, but there's so much crossover now.
Yeah, I think the melting pot of just the generation we live in between music and fashion and culture has just created, you're not just a road racer. You know, yesteryear it was like you got into karting, you got into open wheel, maybe you did circle track, maybe you did NASCAR. And I think just the mash culture we live in has created a product like Global Rallycross, but also, you know, going and hitting the dirt isn't far-fetched because the machinery and the weaponry, call it what it is, that can tackle the desert is similar to that of a drift car, or they can set up, you know, the technology, I think, has really pushed it. You know, I mean, it's even like, you know, Nelson Piquet Jr. doing Formula E, you know, Scott Speed's not doing it this year, but, you know, he's obviously multifaceted and multiverse. So a wheelman's a wheelman. I mean, I think you'd agree, you know, or a wheel woman, right? I mean, so, you know, I mean, I think, you know, just a testament to a talented driver would be that it can cross over into different cultures and different, you know, even Bilko doing GRC. I mean, you name it. I mean, obviously Pastrana, you know, I mean, there's, like you said, I think the action sports, motorsports, you know, you're melding those two words. I mean, that kind of was just separate, you know, and then X Games kind of this and that. And I think it's a testament to just ADD theater. We like different stuff, you know, we like doing different things.
Yeah, well,
Definitely.
Yeah, you know, and that being said, I think it's, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the generation and how we all grew up, but, you know, I know you're like me, and, you know, it wasn't even being as a kid, you know, it was, you know, not only stick and ball sports, but, you know, I wasn't just a skateboarder. I rode BMX bikes and raced BMX bikes and wakeboarded, and, you know, and it's like, I don't know, you know, it's like you said, we're all kind of ADD.
You're still doing it.
Yeah.
I got a tip of the hat to you, dude. I'm stoked that you're still doing it. I just talk about it. You know, you're out there cranking the bike with your daughter, and you're out there wakeboarding, which is rad.
Yeah. Well, no, I got to say though, you've done right by your son. You sent him to Woodward for summer camp, right? I mean, that's pretty legit.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be the best summer camp ever.
Right, dude. I was like, I wish this was around when I was a kid. But again, you know, you've seen me, Jim, and people meet me. They're like, holy crap, you're a big dude. Like, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. I am not a small dude by any means. So everybody's like, is the son going to race cars? I'm like, he can't fit into a car. Tony Stewart gives him hope. You know what I mean? Like, and Tony's a shorter dude, but he's a big dude. But anyways, yeah, sent him to Woodward, and that was a cool opportunity that, you know, I mean, Bucky's been, you know, when Woodward West happened, you know, it's just evolved. And Coco Zarita was like, hey, man, if he wants to go, you know, like, we'll get him lined up and get him set up. It wasn't complimentary, but lined me up with a deal, and I'm stoked on getting my oldest son. He turns 10 on next Monday, so he wanted to do it. So he got a sweet Sunday bike, and which is Odyssey Sunday, and he went up there, and we dropped him off. I'm like, holy cow, dude, this place is insane. If you haven't been there, it's incredible, because not only do they have skate, BMX, but now they have parkour. They do have scooter classes, which, you know, scooters kind of its own deal, you know, judge it how you want, but there's some talent out there riding scooters. And then they have, like, for girls or guys, they have cheerleading, gymnastics. Dude, the facility's incredible. And that's Woodward West. Woodward East is even gnarlier, you know?
Yeah, well, and I know, like, this is just...
That sounds so sick.
Yeah. I know,
was one of those kids who never had the chance to go to a summer camp, but my weekends and whole summer was spent at the track, so I can't complain. But still, the fact that they have options like that out there now for kids, not just, like, go hang out at the YMCA and go play in the park, play, like, football or capture the flag. You got, like, extreme sports summer camps. I love that. That's so sick.
It's insane. And like the cabin he's at, they have like a cabin dad, and there's kids, and, you know, I mean, it's just cool. And you're with these like-minded kids that are committing themselves to different sports, and you have to focus on one sport. But I saw the kids that were in BMX bring their skateboard, bring this, bring that. And I mean, outside of his cabin was like the pool, and then they went and did this and did that. And they have like, dude, place is so sick. So, you know, again, Jim, going back to what we talked about, the multitude of sports and the crossover, that's why we live in this climate that is like motorsports and this mass culture, because we're exposing our kids to different things. And you know, I mean, that, like you say, stick and ball sport, you know, you do have now you have ramp dads. They're up on the deck and they're teaching their kid how to do this. And I live in Arizona, so they have KTR out here, which is Jagger Eaton's family spot. So KTR, which stands for Kids That Rip, but now they've kind of slimmed it down to just KTR. But, dude, it's a sick indoor concrete park. They have a mini mega. They have a full parkour course. I mean, $20. They have a BMX night, so Wednesdays and I think Friday nights. So you can go and do that. I mean, it's top notch. So again, just like Tiger Woods' dad was there teaching them how to swing the club, you have those dads, but now there's moms and dads that are taking their kids to the skate park and watching their kids shred whatever, respective piece of machinery they're whipping around.
Yeah, and I think
and that's happening with your kid in UTV, or McGrath and his daughter, or Brian Deegan and Haley. I mean, you're seeing Bucky and like his daughter Paris. Like some like it, some don't. But I think this crossover happens. And Amy, like obviously your two-wheel world, but going into UTV and Jim, I don't know if I want to get my kid into motorsports. It's so damn expensive. So
what the thing is, when I was a little girl, my parents were like, here's a bike. They took me to the track. There actually was no 50 class back in the day when I'm only 27. I don't want to age myself, but there was no 50 class here where I'm from, and so I had to just ride around in the pits. And then my parents put me into swimming lessons and then diving and gymnastics and dance, and I got my black belt in taekwondo. Like, I did a little bit of everything. Half the stuff I wanted to quit, but my parents were like, stick it out, do it, finish it. And then it was, trying a whole bunch of different sports that I realized how much I loved motocross. And then eventually my dad started a 50 class for us to race. And then I kind of had fun here and there. I raced when I wanted to. And then eventually, like, I just got super bored of the team sports and all the other crap that I was doing. And I'm like, Dad, like, I want to race. He's like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. And so, I was very privileged to have a dad who raced on his own every weekend anyways, and I was lucky I got to come along. And then we went as family, but the best thing I think was I was never pushed into riding. It was, you let me know when you want to, take this seriously, and we can. If not, doesn't matter. And it was cool that way. But I think it's really important now that kids do a lot of different things, because it also perfects what you do. Like, being a gymnast for 10 years helped me on the bike, helped me learn how to crash and how to fall and take a hit, and, actually allowed me to be a lot more like flexible and physical nowadays. And, I think it's important that parents, make their kids do a bunch of different things, not just one thing, because also kids will get burnt out very quickly if their main focus is one sport. Like, how can you enjoy that, being beat down on one thing over and over and over again? You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun doing it.
There's definitely a shelf life for some of those kids, and that's something that we try to temper with Parker, our oldest. Hey, you gotta have the X factor, and you look at a lot of the drivers in Formula Drift. They come from skate. They come from skateboarding, BMX. I mean, Alec Honadale was a jet ski champion. Forsberg can do anything except skateboard. But like Jeff Stoneback, he currently does ride BMX. Him and Jeremiah Smith go and ride, who's a pro BMXer. He has J Block, which is like his garage and warehouse, which has BMX ramps. Him and Dan Popowich. I mean, a lot of these guys come from that background. And you see even Lewis Hamilton last year when he won the championship, he had it written in his contract that he could do more free range stuff. So he's doing the jet pack things and going snowboarding and, at Baldface. I mean, and he said it was the happiest season he ever had, and obviously the most successful. He took it to a championship. So that's a testament to just being multiversed. And like you said, I mean, even something as simple as, I remember putting Parker, our oldest, in karate, and that taught him, respect and going through the rules and going, I mean, there's just all those things there that can, like I said, going full circle, all these different disciplines really feed into overall your athleticism, your respect, your sportsmanship, or lack thereof. Just like any boss, sometimes you learn how you don't like the way that boss does something, and like, screw that. But sometimes you learn and you take those facets away. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what's up next for you, Jarod? I know we got GRC DC on the horizon. That's always an awesome event there. But pass out what's up next.
Yeah, GRC DC. I'm home for a week, which is nice. Get some home life here in the 100+ degrees. Yes, it's a dry heat, but it's way better than humidity. Sorry to all those that are enduring humidity. But GRC DC. Then we got Formula, or what we got after that? Formula Drift Seattle. Then we got Formula Drift Japan. gosh, so much stuff. I'm going to Orlando. I've been doing a lot of content with Snap-on Tools. So we've been doing a lot of cool stuff with Snap-on Tools. I don't know if you saw that. The Bryce Menzies Pentagon seat swap video.
Yeah.
Definitely just do a search for that. That was insane. 4-second Nitro Funny Car versus Bryce Menzies trophy truck, which does about 10 seconds. But it makes for some really cool content. It's an all-inclusive video. So just doing a lot of stuff with Snap-on Tools. But, yeah, I got a full plate, man. I already logged about 60,000 miles this year. And like I said, I'm blessed. And thank you for allowing me to come on here and just rap out with you guys. Definitely, don't want to be a stranger either. So if you ever need anybody else to rap out with you guys, give me a shout.
For sure, buddy.
For sure.
Yeah, we definitely need to do it more often. I know you're on your way to the gym, so appreciate you taking the time, buddy, but we'll definitely do it more than once a year. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, I gotta burn them to earn them. I'm talking about burning off calories so I can earn some calories, and talking about beers and drinks and good food across. We got poutine, Montreal. I don't know how poutine is not American. French fries, cheese, and gravy. Why is that French Canadian, by the way?
And then we have poutine factories that you can do with bacon or just literally any kind of toppings. We have individual poutine stores. It's awesome.
I'm going into the gym. Seriously, stop.
No. You just work out harder so you can earn the poutine with a whole pound of bacon on it. That's what I do.
Right. Like I said, burn them to earn them. And, hey, want to send a shout out to Bucky Lasek. Congrats on his third place. And, bummer for Higgins, but I'm stoked for Bucky that he got on the podium, and, him and Josanimo. And, yeah, stoked for them that they got third. So shout out to my boy Bucky the Bean Lasek.
Yeah, he was ear-to-ear grin. That was, I think, for his first stage rally, a podium finish, that was definitely a win in, not only Bucky, but everybody's eyes. That's not easy to do. So, definitely he's becoming quite the wheelman, dude.
Yeah, and you're going to have some words with him here in a little bit, right?
Yeah, he's hour number 2. Bucky's definitely going to be calling into the show, so stoked for that.
Cool. Right on. Well, thank you, Guy and Gal, for your time, and thanks for having me on.
All right, thanks, Jarrett.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, later.
Bye.
All right, and we're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. More after this.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP 1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs R.J. has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, and I got to tell you, Amy, Jarod, one of my good friends in this industry, and him and I text, and we don't see each other often. I mean, there's a point where sometimes we were working with the same series, Red Bull Global Rallycross, and doing some announcing and emceeing together, and now it's kind of our cross just pass when they pass. But just a good dude, just a quality human, and he's a guy, I get so much respect for him. He literally, it's not like he was handed, his career. He's had to fight tooth and nail to get where he's at, and you gotta respect that.
No, that's awesome. I feel him. I've been one of those people also, as you probably know, and a lot of us have who've had to start at ground zero and work and kick down doors and crawl through windows and fire escapes and chimneys and whatever need be to kind of get to where we are today. And those are the people who end up being the coolest and have the longest career because they know what it takes and they know when the going gets tough to just keep going. And that's what it is. And now that I know that about him, now he's way more cool.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because as we're talking about this, right, I just literally in the commercial break, I always check my email. Sometimes there's breaking news or this or that. I just got an email from a company, and it's not like a sponsor or anything, but it's a company I've been trying to do business with for 4.5 years since I started this radio show. 4.5 years. And no answer for 4.5 years. I mean, it was like monthly. I sent emails. And I just got an email that said, hey, I think it's about time we hop on a call with the CEO of our company and discuss opportunities. Let's set it up with a secretary. So, it doesn't mean I've got anything, but 4.5 years, and today, 30 seconds ago, the door finally cracked open just a little bit. So when we talk persistence on this show, I'm telling you people, you can't give up. You've got to keep knocking on the door and knocking on it. Nothing's going to come easy. And, whether it be sponsors or learning a new trick or winning a race, or just about anything. I mean, it's not going to come easy. You just got to grind it out.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. And, my computer's going a little crazy right now. But, no, it's important to, we talked about this earlier, to do a whole bunch of different things and kind of put yourself in, a lot of different opportunities because the more you put yourself out there and kind of explore different avenues, for me, it's not just racing motocross. It's, driving Polaris Razors or, learning how to do other things and doing different sports and, announcing here and doing radio show here. The more, you put yourself out there, the more likely somebody's going to pick up on you and be like, oh, yeah, I haven't seen Amy race dirt bikes, but I've heard her on the radio or vice versa or something. And, it's very important to be multifaceted and be able to do a little bit of everything. And that's how you become a well-rounded athlete and individual, really.
Yeah, well, and that being said, like Jarod was talking about, it's about networking, and I can tell you I've had more success being out at events, shaking hands and introducing myself, and sometimes nothing happens then, but sometimes a year or 2 years later, something does happen from that initial handshake, but it's so much better to be out there and amongst people than sitting behind a computer screen sending emails. Trust me,
exactly.
if you want FaceTime, you're not going to get it through email, it's being out there and, and grinding and that being said, speaking of grinding, we got to talk about Nitro Circus World Games. Easiest thing to put, it was just off the hook. I don't know what TV ratings were. I know live attendance was pretty good. But have you seen the highlight clips of some of these gold medal winning runs? I mean, Amy, you want to talk about next level? I mean, stuff that was in video games like years ago that
Video games, I know, right?
Yeah, like
it's insane.
1080 flips, and I mean, just like the stuff these guys were doing on motorcycles. I mean, double front flips and the variations like heart attack. It's just nuts. I've never. Like, I don't know, even Levi LaValle, I think he was on Instagram, and Levi, I mean, he's not scared of anything. And you know, he's half, you know, bat blank crazy. And even him, like, he was like, holy crap, the bar's been raised. You know, for Levi to say that, like, I mean, that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's really insane. And, like, what those athletes do, and they're like a whole different breed of person. I can't even fathom how they can have the balls to go out there and do that kind of stuff. But, you know, I was reading a poll online, which kind of made me mad because, okay, the poll went two ways. Actually, I have it in front of me here. It was on Racer X, and they asked, what did you think of Nitro World Games? And one was, it's craziest, coolest, sickest thing I've ever seen in a while. It was cool. It seemed cool, didn't watch it. I watched it, wasn't into it. Or I stopped following freestyle a long time ago. Unfortunately, the votes were split up between I've stopped watching freestyle a long time ago and craziest, coolest, sickest thing I've ever seen in a while. So it just goes to show that, you know, I'm hoping that because this was the craziest, coolest, sickest thing that people have seen a while in freestyle, it will get those people who have not seen, who stopped following freestyle to maybe pick it up again because, you know, it's not just the same tricks that they've been doing. It's the envelope is just pushed and, you know, every aspect of the same old freestyle. And, you know, I hate to say it, but the X Game freestyle events, which it gets repetitive. This is something different, and Travis has really gone, Travis and his crew, I mean, it's the whole Nitro crew together have really gone and done something different and taken freestyle to a whole new level. And this is really cool, and they have a great place to showcase it, and it's cool. And I think it's just going to take a little bit of time, you know, to get that, the live audience there and all those people who were interested and maybe weren't, you know, hooked back onto it now. And, you know, definitely I am. And I think because it's like, you hear about all these tricks and you have all this built up and I want to tune in to see what they do. Like I want to see what's the coolest, craziest thing out there, and it's I get all hyped up and I need to tune in. I want to know, and it helps that a lot of my friends participate in this, and I want to, you know, watch them and watch their progress, and it's just a cool thing. So
yeah. Well, and you know, and I think what got people bored with FMX there for a while, and I'll admit, I mean, I never gave up on it, but I quit being a religious watcher and follower of it, you know. But
you can always catch a cool highlight on social media.
Yeah.
That's the issue. But the fact that they hold off on social media and they really, you know, say, oh, this guy's coming out with this trick and never been seen, never been done, don't know what he's doing, like, then you want to tune in to see if it happens and if he makes it and if he's successful. Like, it's like you're almost like holding your breath till the actual event, and I want to see it live, not, you know, later and to catch up onto it another day, you know?
Yeah, well, and I think the biggest thing is you know, there for a while it was, you know, guys were just hitting a ramp and then turning around and hitting another ramp. Well, between Red Bull X-Fighters and Travis Pastrana, Travis has reinvented ramps, you know, so they're different configurations, and some of them are mechanical that allow you to do certain front flip variations, and like the ramp that Sheeny did the triple on, I mean, you know, it was specially made to be able to do that, you know, and X-Fighters, I mean, you know, they're putting together, you know, multi-leveled events. Some of them are you know, some of them have wall rides, and, you know, now we've got the quarter pipe. And so I think FMX is evolving, you know, it's not just the single straight ramp hit. It's, you know, it's 75 feet that we've seen over and over, you know, these guys, you know, it's not just the air tricks. Like DeMello was saying, there's a lot more tech stuff that you can do that you're not necessarily so high in the air. And I think, you know, I think it's just an evolution, you know, and we've seen it in BMX dirt jumping and, you know, and skateboarding and everything else. I think, you know, people got away from it, and now it's coming back, and it's different variations, different courses, and I think it's gonna re-energize people. You know, it'd be like watching Supercross and it being the same track over and over. Nobody'd watch Supercross anymore, but, you know, the exciting part of Supercross is it's a new track every week, and I think that's what they're doing with FMX. It's a new arena every single time, different features, different jumps, and I think it's going to get people interested again.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. You can't be repetitive. You have to keep evolving. And I say this every time, but I hope the safety level keeps evolving every time as well. I hope there's a little bit of a buffer. Hope there's different things, as they get crazier. I hope the level of security can get a little more intense. I don't know. It scares me. It scares the crap out of me. And we've been really lucky the last little while. There's been no life-threatening injuries, where we're a couple years past. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. I mean, this is action sports. We have to understand that we know the risks going into this, but at the same time, it's in anything, hockey, football, soccer, maybe not so much soccer. Have you ever seen, I very frequently Google, I guess it's called football in Europe, but football versus motocross. It's hilarious. There's this one out there that they show Chad Reed, I think it was back in 2009 when he hit the now infamous catapult at Millville, and he launches like 3 stories in the air, falls, without his bike, and then he gets back up and finishes the race or drives off at least. Like, he gets up after this. And then they show a clip to where they're playing soccer on the field, and a guy will go and flick the other soccer player's nose, and he'll drop down on the ground, proceed to cry, and scream like a baby. It's hilarious. If you guys haven't seen it, you have to go look up football versus motocross on YouTube. It's awesome. Just shows how gnarly motocrosses are.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's funny. Like when I was on vacation, my brother-in-law, he, the TV up there at the lake, it had, it's one of them smart TVs, and it's got, YouTube on it. And my brother-in-law and my nephews are way into these fail videos, these fail compilations that are like 10, 15 minutes long, and it's like basically, it's like ridiculousness, all combined into one. And oh my goodness, it's like I don't know. You can rot your brain watching YouTube. I think I'm seriously think you could just sit there and go into a coma because there's so much content out there, and some of it's funny, some of it's scary, and it's just...
But the thing is, they never show the after. Like, they show people crashing, and they never show, like, what, did they break their arm? Are they okay? Are they alive? Like, that's, like, what I always think of if I watch fail videos. But to be honest, I haven't even had time to... I used to be very adamant Jenna Marbles watcher. Every Tuesday or Wednesday, I would go and watch a Jenna Marbles. That was my thing. I don't even open my computer anymore. I am way too busy, and it's summertime. I want to be outside. I'm building my patio in the backyard. I want to ride my dirt bike and go to the beach. Like, the last thing I want to look at is my computer in the summer. And that goes for show over the stupid Pokemon game we talked about last week. Jim, I cannot believe how many people I have seen around the city chasing freaking Pokemon. Like, are you serious? Get a dirt bike. Go play. I don't like it.
Well, wasn't I in the airport? Where was I that I text you and I'm like...
Yeah, you're in the airport.
Yeah, I'm like, Amy, there's like this grown man walking around chasing Pokemon in the airport. It's hilarious. And I couldn't find him again because you're like, take a video, and I couldn't find him again. I was running around the airport chasing Pokemon hunters, trying to get them on video. I wasn't chasing the Pokemon. I was chasing the people playing Pokemon.
I'm turning into some viral, like, I don't know, it already is viral, let's be honest. It's been out for, a week or not even, or 2 weeks or something. Like, it's furiously insane. I don't like it at all, whatsoever.
Yeah, it's nuts. All right, we got to take a short commercial break. We come back. We got a Dirtfish Rally Report. We're going to talk some TORC and Stadium Super Trucks and a little Sarah Price in the next 2 quick hit segments. So all that and more here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our RZR vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup Sign up at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com.
Hey, calling all you river area locals and seniors. Get to Blue Water Resort for fun slot tournaments. Play for a chance to win $500 for first place. Plus, each participant will also receive $10 in free slot play. 55 years or older seniors slot tournaments are Tuesdays from 1 to 4 p.m. And lucky locals, your slot tournaments are every Friday night from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, visit the club.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
No need to dress up, wear your tank tops and flip-flops. Just get to Blue Water Resort and Casino every Wednesday from 4 to 8 and again Sundays from 2 to 6 for a chance to win cash prizes. Club members play for a chance to win their share of $1,700 cash giveaway every Wednesday and Sunday. It's tank tops and flip-flops in July. Plus, the new members receive $10 in free slot play. Plus, 2 free spins on the 100 or nothing promotional slot machine and so much more.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here. We're going to kickstart our Dirt Fish Rally Report, brought to you this week by our good friends at Dirt Fish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. I'm super stoked here in the next couple of weeks. I will be venturing up to Dirtfish Rally School, taking in some training. We're going to be doing a live radio show from Dirtfish, so super stoked on that. Definitely going to have a whole lot more info as we get closer. But those of you who want to take in some advanced rally training and you meet the requirements, if you want to go to school at Dirtfish, definitely shoot me a message through the website or DM me on social media. And I can give you the details, put you in contact with the people at Dirtfish, but you can go do some training with me if you want. But we're going to talk a little Rally America New England Forest Rally right now, and I got to tell you, man, what an awesome event up there. My buddy David Higgins having some troubles, a very, very uncommon problem. David, anytime he doesn't finish, I mean, it's been years since he hasn't finished a rally, but stuff happens once in a while, and some mechanicals taking him and Craig Drew out, left the door wide open to see a new overall winner, and Seamus Burke, the veteran Seamus Burke and Martin Brady, 15 years almost to the day since they last won New England Forest Rally, won again. Super stoked on for him to walk away with the victory. He's been running hard this year. Troy Miller, Jeremy Miller, second on the podium, first in super production, and then two-wheel drive, Cameron Steele, Preston Osborne, putting a two-wheel drive on the national podium. First time it's happened since Brendo did it a couple years ago. So since Rhiannon and Brendo put that two-wheel drive on the national podium, very, very difficult to do. Second in two-wheel drive went to Ryan Millen. And now we had Tino Fortunato in second in SP. And then going down to B-Spec, got to give a big shout-out to Kiana Erickson Chang, taking her first ever B-Spec victory. Super pumped for Kiana. So great event up there, and looking forward to the Ojibwe Rally coming at you in late August. But that's your Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web, www.dirtfish.com. And with that, we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with some TORC and SST results here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Do have to make mention before we went to the break, a couple other results. Got to give a shout out to John and Bill Fogg. Bill Fogg, the owner of Rally America, jumping in the co-driver's seat with his son John. John only gets to rally about once a year, taking home a podium finish. And then got to give a shout out also to Bucky Lasek, Rhiannon Gelsomino. Bucky making his gravel rally debut there at NEFR, coming home with the podium finish in third. With Rhiannon there in the co-driver's seat. Super stoked on that, and looking forward to catching up with Bucky later on this hour. So Bucky Lasek definitely still to come. But right now we're going to talk a little TORC and Stadium Super Trucks. And, TORC Series, easiest way to put it, they're running this new venue in Minnesota. Amazing venue in Minnesota. It looks just a beautiful track. And it was all CJ Greaves, easiest way to put it. CJ winning Pro 4 on both days, winning Pro 2 on both days. So that pretty much just leaves us with Pro Light, which was Andrew Carlson taking the victory in Pro Light on day number 1. Day number 2, it was Sean Morris taking the Pro Light victory. Then we had some UTV results, and my buddy Jason Luberg taking a win in UTV on one of the days, and then Corey Weller taking the win in UTV on the other day. So Luberg, Weller, those are UTV winners. Stoked to see TORC bringing in the UTVs. Awesome to see that. I think it's been a long time coming. So, very excited to see, UTVs in the TORC series. But it was all CJ Greaves, easiest way to put it, there in Minnesota at that phenomenal new venue. And then Stadium Super Trucks. Got to talk Stadium Super Trucks. My girl, Sarah Price, she was there making history as the first female driver in Stadium Super Trucks history. She will be on air next week. Already talked with Sarah this weekend. She is on air next week here with Amy Houde and I, so super pumped on that. Matt Brabham taking the win. Sheldon Creed, Paul Morris, 1, 2, 3. My buddy Toby Price in 5th. Robbie Gordon was in 4th. P.J. Jones 7th. Respectable Sarah Price finishing in 8th. And then Paul Tracy, the IndyCar legend, there in 9th, followed by Max Pappas, Russell Boyle, and Bill Hines. And then race number 2 on the weekend. And it was all Sheldon Creed. Matt Brabham finishing in 2nd. Robbie Gordon on that podium finish. Toby Price, another solid effort there in 4th. Down the list, Sarah Price, a respectable 9th again. So 2 top 10 finishes for Sarah Price. Looking sharp there, Price. And looking forward to having her on air next week. We're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. We come back. Joe Duncan from Terracross is on the line. And then later on in hour number 2, it's going to be all Bucky Lasek.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound of the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, and just like each and every week, kicking off hour number 2, we got my good friend Joe Duncan on the line. How is everything going, Joe?
Things are great, Jim Beaver. Things are great.
I know. It's when it rains, it pours, and I know we've been talking, and I've been gag ordered on a lot of press releases, and but today is the day. You've got a lot of announcements to make, so I'm pretty sure you got a lot to get off your chest.
Today is a great day. We've been talking about it for weeks now, and between attorneys and press and media people, we finally got to announce, we sent out a press release for our multi-year agreement with CBS Sports Network, primetime, basically Sunday nights on CBS Sports Network in the CBS Sports Spectacular window. And we're so excited about having that consistent home, that spot where you can go to watch it. We've been with CBS for a while with Terracross, and it's just nice to get that release. That has made it a possibility to do some other things we'll talk about shortly here. But yeah, what a great deal. We have a great production company that makes great shows out of our Terracross events, and super excited that press release finally got out. Most people don't know we started that conversation last year at the SEMA show, and we had a great sit down. They wanted more Terracross. They wanted more of our athletes. They wanted more events. We came up with these classes. We have 5 classes this year. We've discussed this already, but between those 5 classes are 3 great events, and all of the action that goes along with that. We'll be producing 12 hours of television for CBS Sports Network, with a minimum of 12 encore presentations. As you know, most of them air, 2 to 3 times after the original air. But what a great what a great deal to be able to finally announce this and get this out to our partners and to our athletes and to everyone that has been waiting on this.
Yeah, that's 12 hours of TV, and we've got 6 rounds of racing. So, man, that means each round of racing there's going to be 2 hours dedicated to it. I mean, it's just phenomenal, Joe. I don't know. I got to say, I mean, Terracross in some elite company with this television package.
Yeah, we got, it's basically going to be 3 hours per event of television. And then we have an opening show that I think is like September 23rd. That one starts our season off with highlights from last year, talk about our champions, talk about 2016 season and how we're coming into the year here, and how we're going to kick it off with some big things, really big things that we'll probably announce next Tuesday on your show. But we got some really big stuff to announce for our kickoff event this year at Houde. And then so 3 hours from each one of those. We've got a highlight reel in the middle of the season to fill a gap in our programming. And then we have a recap show and a highlight show to crown our champion and to discuss all the great action from the season. So 12 incredible hours of television. Of course, you'll be able to watch it on CBS Sports Network. In the press release has the original air date, re-air or encore air dates. We'll post as soon as we receive them. And, of course, you'll be able to watch that on terracrossracing.com. As the show's there, they'll be posted there afterwards.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm excited. Gets me even more excited to get to Houde's. It's going to be a good year. That being said, I know you got a couple of sponsor announcements that dropped this last week as well, right?
Yeah, due to the fact we're able to finally get the CBS television announcement out and talk a little bit about events and stuff, that's allowed us to kick off the next round of exciting news. Which one of them, a big one, is Western Power Sports, WPS, and Fly Racing have come on board as our official distributor. Power sports distributor for Terracross, and we could not be more excited to have them on board. Craig and Doug and all the crew over there, Jackson and Adam and the whole Terry, the whole crew over there. We've worked together. We've done stuff together for years. They've always helped us out at Terracross when we needed something. We've always helped them out when they needed something. And in the big picture, it just made perfect sense to finally put something together, and we did. And it's a big deal, multi-year partnership relationship. We will have some more information released in the next 2 weeks that go along with this, but WPS and Fly Racing, of course, they do outdoor motocross, and they're partners with a lot of different great events and great athletes, and they will be bringing some of those athletes to the table as well. We know some of them that already race with us, Daryl Rapp from Rapp Racing, Colton Moore, X Games multi-time medalist. Those two alone with WPS and Fly Racing, as well as many others that will be coming to the table. So again, exciting Terracross Tuesday here on the Jim Beaver Down and Dirty Radio Show, and excited to be able to finally start announcing stuff. And it won't stop here. Every week we have some big, exciting news, and we've got some athletes that are going to start coming on board on the show with us. I know every week almost you've had a Terracross athlete on, and now we're going to be starting to add some new ones as we roll up the next few weeks up until September 10th and 11th. Our kickoff event at Houde's.
Yeah, and I got to give a shout-out to our boy Jason Luberg, taking one of the very first win ever at the TORC race there at Elk River this weekend in his UTV. So, your Terracross champ is doing it to it in the TORC series.
Yeah, Jason's a hell of a racer. You put him in any style of event in a UTV. He's been around them so long. He's one of the first first guys and groups come from that ATV world to move into UTVs, and he's so smooth and so technical and fast to boot. You add all those together, and it creates championships and wins and podium finishes, and that's what he's good at. And to top it off, he's a hell of a course builder for Terracross. So yeah, he's pretty awesome news there. And of course, Mystic Lubricants on board there, as well as Fly Racing and WPS. So knocking out some Terracross partners as well there.
Yeah, it's definitely been a busy week and a half for you. Not that you ever have any time off, but definitely the last week and a half, man. You've been running ragged. Not only that, but you were at Nitro Circus Games too. How was that?
Yeah, we got a call at the last minute to come out to the Nitro World Games. Saw a lot of great people. Obviously, Travis Pastrana, Ken Block was out there. All the amazing athletes. Just a really cool event. Great stadium, that Utah, sports stadium out there. What an amazing facility and an amazing location to host an event, and hospitality out there. Just great thing to be a part of. Cool step, and onward to the next big adventures. Heyday is coming up right around the corner, and got some more news that's coming out at the end of this week that we'll talk about next week, but some pretty major announcements coming in the event world this next week here. So just super pumped that we actually finally get to start talking about a bunch of these things. Some of these things have been in the works for over a year or more, and you start talking about things too early and things fall apart. So it's nice to be able to have stuff that's signed, sealed, and delivered, and going to be a great future ahead for Terracross and our partners, CBS Sports Network and Western Power Sports, Fly Racing. Just super excited to finally be able to start talking about things.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call in, Joe. We'll definitely do it again next week, and congrats on all these announcements.
Sounds good. Say hi to our Terracross Women's Champion, Sarah Price, for me. I hear she's going to be on the show.
Next week. She had something pop up, so next week we're going to have her dialed in.
All right. Well, maybe we'll have her on with us. We got some cool stuff coming there too.
Awesome. Sounds good, buddy.
See you later.
All right. Thanks, Jimmy.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
See you, Amy.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right. We're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Back after this.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP 1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs R.J. has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lasek and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, and man, rocking and rolling here. And I got to tell you, Houde, I got a bit of a vent, and I'm sure you'll agree with me on this one. But what I don't understand in motorsports here is I realize there's only 52 weeks a year, right? And there's all these series, and stuff has to run on the same weekend. I mean, you can't not have multiple events on one weekend. I get it. But what I don't get is that you can have professional motocross running in Millville, Minnesota, and then an hour away you can have the TORC series, which is, I say there's about 4 premier off-road racing, organizations in the country, 2 short course racing organizations. So TORC is one of those 2 short course organizations. And an hour away, they run an event on the same exact days in Minnesota. And to me, I'm looking at it going, like, there's only so much fan base, and everybody is hurting for ticket sales anyways. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. It's just so hard to fit everything in. And, it is 2 very different. The 2-wheel and 4-wheel side of the world is very different. And I think, especially in Minnesota, it might be a little different in California or the more south you go. But in Minnesota, there's some very loyal 2-wheel people. And Millville falls on the same weekend every weekend. It's the same date that it's been all the time. Back in the day, it actually used to be at the end of August, and then they switched it to July. So, but I think they try to keep the weekends of pro motocross the same. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks trying to prioritize like what you want to do and where you want to go, and that's what's cool about Joe and the whole Terracross series is that he tries to, set up the race schedule where it doesn't conflict with any other series going on, and I think that's a very smart thing to do because it's so hard already to try to do everything.
Yeah, well, and not only that, he tries to coordinate the schedule where there's no overlap, for at least for any of his drivers, so that they can all come to the same events. But secondly, he tries to set it up where they run in conjunction with other events like Heydays, you know what I mean? He's not going to run something in Elk River when Heydays is going on an hour away, he runs them together, and so, fans can be a part of both, and, same thing with Camp Razor, Glamis, like it's a cool atmosphere because everything's run in conjunction with something else, and, brings a ton of fans. Anybody that was at Heydays or at Camp Razor, just massive crowds,
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely really tough.
So, speaking of Millville, we haven't talked pro motocross in a couple of weeks, so I think
actually, there's some exciting news that's been going down in the 2-wheel side of the world. We just never have the time. We always have so many guests on that it's hard to kind of recap. But really exciting news, and it's so awesome because James Stewart tries to keep a low profile, let's be honest. Like, he had a TV show. He was totally out in the public eye. Everyone had something to say about James. But the cool thing about it is that he keeps his private life private, and I really value that. But he just had a baby boy. So congratulations, James Stewart, for having a baby. That's super awesome. I can't wait to see how extreme and insane that is. Definitely part of Gen Extreme, I think. But having a dad like James Stewart must be pretty pretty surreal. But and then Ryan Dungey's second time winning the SB for Best Action Sports Male Athlete, so another big win for motocross. I mean, it just has to say something about the sport of moto to win such a prestigious award. You know, in the whole action sports category, it was motocross that took the win, and then I mean, likely deserver. Obviously, Ryan Dungey, such a great face for action sports. I mean, he's clean cut, he's a wholesome dude, good guy, and he's gnarly on a dirt bike. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this before, but Dungey's the guy like. People may not be a fan of Dungey, but nobody's going to have anything bad to say about him. You know, it's...
No, I mean, and if you actually know Ryan Dungey, I mean, he's an athlete. He does a very good job of representing the sport that is his job. And it is his job, and he's just a great role model. But if you see the other side of Dungey, he's actually a super rad guy. I'll never forget, okay, we'll take it back a couple years. I grew up with Ryan Dungey, so we used to race in Minnesota together back when he rode for Kawasaki on it. I think he was one of the first guys with a KX85, big bore, big wheels, whatever. So he had a black shag, little skateboard kid too. Like, we grew up a long time ago, and I knew a very different Ryan Dungey. And then growing up, we always kind of kept in touch. And then it was the Nations back in, I don't even remember the year. Maybe 2009? No, maybe 2010 when it was in Colorado. So Ryan Dungey, Team USA won the Nations, and there was an after party, and Ryan got on the microphone and was rapping Eminem's 8 Mile, and it was awesome, and it was super funny, and like the guy actually has a really cool personality, but he just very much chooses who he would like to see that fun side. And then, I mean, you have to. The world is looking at you, and the world is judging you, and, you know, he keeps it clean, and he lets out who he wants to, you know, the real Ryan Dungey to his close friends and family and this close-knit industry, and I respect him for that, because if you actually know him, he's pretty awesome. He's a pretty cool guy, but I'll never forget, he was just rapping Eminem. That's his kind of thing. He, even at the AMA banquet, in 2014, he rapped Eminem's 8 Mile at the Vineyard too. It was awesome, but he does it really good. He's great.
Yeah, that's what's funny talking about that. Like, I know I've got a private Facebook account, right? And I use an alias so nobody knows who I am. And, you know, some people have kind of somewhat figured it out because I get random friend requests once in a while that I don't answer. But I've got this Facebook alias account, and it's where I can post like personal stuff and, you know, and kind of opinions and views. And I've got like 80 friends, and they're all people that I'm close to, you know, so it's not going to get out. It's something I wouldn't say on air, but it's funny because not only do I have that, but I've got some friends that are very well-known action sports and race car drivers who have accounts with aliases, and we're friends. And it's funny because you see their public persona, and it's so neutral and so vanilla, but then you get to know the real them, and then you get to see them on their private social media that nobody knows. And it's hilarious because they're so like, you know what I mean? You wouldn't believe, hey, this is this guy, because you see the public one, you see the private one, and they're so not the same.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I get a lot of flack sometimes for being, you know, everyone calls me like a wild child, or I'm really out there or crazy or whatever. But like, I try to keep my social media a great representation of who I am as a person. Like, it's not that I'm wild and crazy or don't have a filter. It's just I feel like it's my job or my responsibility to be real with my following and my fans or my friends or whatever. And it's just, I want to give you, like, what you see is what you get. When you meet me in person, I'm going to be the same person. Like, I'm sensitive. I feel like I'm a sensitive girl, and like I still try to, I care a lot about what other people think of me, because I've worked really hard to to earn respect in this industry. But I'm not going to be fake, and I'm not going to, not post something because I think maybe, people will get the wrong opinion. It's like, you know what? I'm going to be real with you. This is how I think. This is how I feel. I've worked really hard to, because a lot of times girls get a bad rep for maybe posting a photo in a bathing suit or in a sports bra. But, I applaud the girl who's worked her butt off to, you know, look really good and be comfortable with the way she looks, and that's what it's really about, being comfortable in your own skin. It's not like, oh, look at me. It's, hey, man, like, I feel good today, okay? Like, today I'm okay with posting a photo in a sports bra. Maybe in a couple weeks I'm not if I eat that large, extra large pizza, but today I do, and it's just about being real with, you know, my following and my fans, and I have no shame in that, and I don't like when you meet someone and they're very different than what you see on social media, especially when they give the opinion that, oh, they're this crazy outgoing, they live this crazy life, and you meet them and they're like wallpaper. Like, really? Like, you're false advertising.
Yeah. So that being said, we gotta get back to some MX though. Obviously, Roxon taking the 1-1. We got a couple minutes. I want to talk though because it was last week. I think Tomac took the sweep, right?
Yes, but we got to be honest. It's Millville. This is the European dominant track. I think it's Southwick and Millville. It's a very rough elevation. There's sand, there's clay. It's a very, very technical, wide open track, and you see, the Europeans, Ken Roxon, Muscan, even Purcell, he finished fourth. You see these Europeans who are used to this very aggressive style of racing and riding, and really succeed at this track alone. And again, I say this one and Southwick is the very same. The deep, gnarly sand. They have so many gnarly sand tracks like Lommel over in Europe, but I gotta hand it to Ken Roxon. He struggled. He had a bent shifter or something, and still was like a lap ahead of everybody. But gotta hand it to Marvin Muscan, man. He's been slowly picking his way through that crowd, and this is his 450 debut year in outdoors, and he's been nothing but successful. I'm stoked for him. But 250s, it was really going to be a toss-up. I couldn't wait to watch the 250 race. I mean, it's Jeremy and Alex's backyard track. This is the track they grew up on racing. But, Jeremy, he did go 2-1, but I got to hand it to Cooper Webb. I mean, he's almost the underdog here. I mean, he's battling two guys who grew up every single day racing this track. They know every line that is going to be the fastest one out there. And Webb's going 1-2. He was right there every time, and it just shows the level that Cooper Webb is on, and that he is confident. That's really what went into this weekend. Alex and Jeremy had just a confidence level that nobody else had, and it did not really stand alone for Cooper. Cooper and Joey were right there as well. So it's been a cool 250 year, man. It's been really exciting, but it's been the same lineup almost every weekend. Jeremy, Webb, Alex, and Joey. They've been such a dominant top four group that it's shaken up to be a very consistent year for them. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to take a short break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We come back. Bucky Lasek on the line here, and just a few minutes. So stay tuned.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, joined by my next guest, my good friend Bucky Lasek, coming off a solid podium finish at Rally America New England Forest Rally. First ever gravel rally, Bucky. You got to feel pretty happy to get a podium finish.
Yeah, what's up, Jim? Yeah, it's great. Just going out there, getting my feet dirty and getting acclimated in that car and the situation and the stages. Just getting my wits about me. It was awesome. I had such a good time.
Well, I know, leaving, coming in on the first stage, you were immediately like, oh man, I was just taking it easy. And then it seemed like after that, things ramped up for you. You and Rhiannon, you got in sync and you started clicking off times. And I know, it seems like you were just narrowing the gap with the leaders, each and every stage. And, it seems like you definitely got it figured out.
I did. It took me, like you said, it took me some time. I didn't want to go out there and stuff at first turn or even on the first stage. So I definitely went out there and, had a good head on my shoulders, and Rhiannon kept me safe and straight, I should say, and or sideways, I guess you could say. It was rad. I definitely got a feel for it as I went. There's a lot of stuff to take in. It became comfortable, and then the speed came even more. So I really look forward to doing it again, and hopefully it's with Rhiannon again as well.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I know you guys did snowdrift to kick off the year, which is something. It's a total different animal. Some don't even consider it a stage rally. I mean, by normal terms, but it's definitely a fun event. You've done that. I mean, obviously you've got a full slate of global rallycross races coming at you. You have any idea if you're going to be back in stage rally sometime this year or maybe next year?
I don't know. It's hard to tell with my schedule right now. I'm so busy with GRC stuff and Subaru appearances and skateboarding still. I'm so fully active with that. And then I have my wife and kids as well. So right now I think I got to take some priority and go home and spend some quality time with the family so I can go have some fun with the boys again. But hopefully we'll get that going again. It's a possibility maybe later this year.
Yeah. Well, I know we're a couple weeks out. We've got Red Bull GRC, Washington, D.C. I know Subaru fans super amped, to see Subaru back in, comes in mid-season, but I know the way Subaru works, and I know, the thought process was to say we're not coming in unless, we're bringing in our A-plus game, and it, seems like the car definitely dialed in. I mean, you talk to anybody on the team, they say, yeah, we still got a little bit more work, but I think the basis is there for a solid rallycross car and a car that can compete for podiums.
You're absolutely right. We've been working hard on the car. There's a lot of the guys have spent a lot of time on the basically the chassis setup and the motor package as well. We have a couple different packages going on as far as the motor, different things that we can do. So I believe we're going to be running different setups, Fair and I, just because we're still testing. This is still a development year, so we're not really looking for the finishes. I mean, we definitely are looking for the finishes, but we're not really, it's not what it's all about right now. If we could, we would have liked to extended the off season so that we'd be even more prepared. But we have so many things changing over there that it's going to be gnarly. It's going to be gnarly as in good. So DC, we're even trying more stuff at DC. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you feel like having the two different cars, and obviously you and Sphere have completely different driving styles. You feel like that's going to lend to the development of the car. You guys can both run different setups and different tunes, and and at the end of the day, you've got two cars. You can collaborate and find out what's actually working.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having two cars on a team, working together in a whole and getting the outcome that we want.
Yeah. So, that being said, what's up next for you? Obviously, we've got Red Bull GRC, we got DC, you've got the rest of those events. What else is on tap for Bucky? You got anything fun going on?
I still have the skateboard video that I've been working on for, almost 2 years now. I have a few tricks that I need to make. And right now I don't feel like hurting myself, so I think it's going to be postponed another couple of months. So I'm probably just going to go home, keep on my board, play around, and just hang out with my kids.
Yeah, how's the contest scene in skateboarding? I mean, you see ups and downs in action, in action sports all the time, and we've seen it for the past, 30 plus years. But what's the current state of skateboarding? I mean, I see what guys are doing both in vert and in street, and they're riding at such a high level. It's just insane what some of these young kids are pulling.
It is insane. It's insane the level that it's at right now. There's skateboard contests popping up all over the world. Unfortunately, I can't go to them all. I have to pick and choose kind of like from a handful of them because of my schedule. So I just kind of go to the bigger ones and that's where that's at. And I still compete, and I don't really have anything coming up this year. Elliot Sloan, he's got some backyard thing going on that I might go to if I'm in town, but nothing big. I think it should return to the roots. I think these big venues, they seem to be made for TV, and the fans get sorted out and they have fun, but it all comes down to like the ratings and stuff. So I'd like to see the scene kind of go back to the backyard scene, like have contests again and have little sponsors come in where it's not like big overhead where all the money's not going to the riders. So I'd like to see like stuff go in the backyards, like the bowls and the ramps in the backyard, and then have the sponsorship money actually go to the riders so that they can actually make a living. Because it's tough right now. I mean, it's vert skating. Tour isn't doing vert, I don't think, anymore. They do have a street contest and a bowl contest coming up, but vert, it's still thriving. But as far as the big contests like X Games and stuff like that, there's only a couple big ones like that now. So kind of weeding it out, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely vert seems like it's always been, the gladiators, the warriors, and anybody can pick up a board and go street skate, and it's not knocking the talent level in street skating because guys like Nija and that, I mean, it's just off the hook what they're doing. But vert has always been its own animal, and one, it's expensive to have a proper ramp, and two, I mean, it just takes some balls to decide you want to be a vert skater,
Yeah. I mean, you need a place to do it. Street skating, nothing against that. I mean, you can, like you said, there's a lot of parks that they kind of cater to that kind of skating. And now I guess there's more bowls going up where the kids can get in and skate like little mini vert situations. But it's going to the parks. You see a lot of park series coming up around, and that's kind of where it's going, actually. It's kind of a mix between bowl and vert. But the stuff is a lot smaller, but then the riding is just as gnarly because it's really diverse. The guys are diverse. I mean, they can flip their boards, they can They can, they can do full pipe loops and stuff. Like, they go crazy. I mean, it's next level stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that caters, like, that's kind of, I think, where it's going, because that's what all the kids are riding in their neighborhoods now. And that's why these guys are putting these series together. So it's good for the kids. Yeah, especially if that's what you're growing up skating.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to be competing on.
Yeah. Well, I think it's made, especially with all these parks popping up, one way or another, it's bringing more people to skateboarding, and
I still got you?
Yeah, you still got me.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I think even with all these parks popping up, one way or another, it's bringing new people to skateboarding, and whether they decide to go the vert route or the bowl route, skateboarder's a skateboarder, and more of these young kids coming in, that's definitely good for the sport and grooms the next generation.
Yeah, it's moving on. It's growing. It'll never die. It's progressing so much. But I'm pushed on time. I gotta jump in a rally car this weekend, or last weekend, jump in a rallycross car next weekend, and then who knows? They might have me competing overseas somewhere on a skateboard.
Yeah.
It's like I have preparation time. I just have to hustle all the time.
Yeah. Well,
I'm down for.
Yeah, but how is it for you switching now that you in stage rally and rallycross? I mean, looking on the outside, a lot of people be like, "Oh, those cars are the same," but you and I know underneath the hood they're completely different animals. I mean, how is that from you? I mean, what are you able to take from this, from your rallycross background and transfer over to stage rally and vice versa?
I think I could probably take more from stage rally and transfer it over to rallycross, because right now rallycross for me, it's about keeping it tidy and clean. And there's a lot of turns and different situations where you have to hang it out there, and being tidy isn't necessarily the fastest. So I think stage rally has really taught me how to kind of get the car upset a little bit earlier, so I can get a better gain down the straightaway. So I think I'm taking more from stage rally at this point. And as far as what skateboarding does, I think skateboarding just brings the consistency into it. If skateboarding had anything to do with rallying and driving, it would be just being consistent with tricks and hitting your tricks, kind of like how you hit the corners. You got to be consistent and nail it every time, even though they're all different.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's a lot of truth to that, especially with rallycross. It's become a game of inches, and you can move a few inches, here, a few inches there, and there's a lot of precision to rallycross, and I think skateboarding's the same way. There's such precision to skateboarding, to be able to land, coming out from 10 feet, 10 feet over the vert ramp lip. There's so much precision to that, and I think that, that's definitely a crossover between the two. Everything's so precise.
It all works. It all works out in the end. I think it all kind of feeds into each other, and it's all about finding those limits.
Yeah. So before we let you go, I got to ask you. One thing I've always liked about you, a lot of guys drive for car manufacturers, and sometimes it's just all on paper. You know what I mean? It's all for show. But I've always loved you because you eat, sleep, breathe Subaru, man. I mean, you've got some amazing cars. I got to ask you, you just built a new car for your daughter, and I know this thing was top secret, but I got to tell you, the thing looks sweet.
Yeah, I bought a salvaged RS, a 2.5 RS coupe, a 99. For my daughter about 2.5 months ago, and I basically stripped the car down, all in between everything I do. I took the time in between a couple of skateboard contests and some races, or some testing actually, and I was able to. God, I spent hours and hours of every day, the little bit of time that I was home, preparing this car, and then I got it done, and I presented it to her and surprised it to her, and she loves it, And that's the thing. It's the Subaru community. It's awesome, and when you have so much pride and compassion for the sport, it's easy to do. It's easy to show with the fans that we have, and good or bad. You know what I mean? It's like they're behind us, and the brand's there. The brand is strong. They totally back the team, and I mean, and when I talk about the team, it's like. Everyone at the shop has Subarus, and they're all wrenching away on each other's stuff, and it's never ending, you know, and it's awesome. I can't wait to I actually love driving Paris's car. Like, even though it's a stock motor, it's just it's very clean. It's got like, I had to do carpet and all that stuff in it. So it was a lot of work, and I guess just being passionate about it, it was worth it, you know, and I love what I do. Driving, I used to work at a body shop, and I love repairing cars. I find myself kind of mechanically inclined, and I like to do it all myself.
Well, Bucky, I appreciate you taking the time to call in today, and definitely best of luck in the rest of the GRC season. And I know I'll be out to hopefully one or two of those, so we'll definitely say hey, and hopefully we see you at another stage rally soon, buddy.
All right. Well, I look forward to having the microphone in front of my face and hanging out with you.
All right. Sounds good, Bucky. Take care, and talk soon.
I'll see you, Jim.
All right. All right, we got to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. We come back, I'll be here wrapping things up with you on another edition of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty Radio Show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our RZR vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound of the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, wrapping things up on yet another edition of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. And, man, talk about an epic guest list today. Bucky Lasek, Jarod DeAnda, Joe Duncan dropping some Terracross bombs. And, man, always Always a good day to do radio. Super stoked, to have Bucky on air. It's been a while. Been like 6-8 months since we've had him on, and he's up to everything, and Jarod, he's always got his own unique perspective on things, and always fun to catch up with Jarod. Definitely need to do it more often, There's we're all a bunch of motorsport gypsies around here, and talk about that. You got Jarod DeAnda, falls into that category. Got a good friend, Lorette Nichols. She's been on air a couple times the past couple of weeks, talking all kinds of things. Obviously Amy does a ton of traveling. I do a ton of traveling. I mean, you got Jen Horsey, who, we've had her on air a couple of years ago, man. We need to reach out to her, but she travels around. Katie Osborne, it's fun. You get to meet these people, and some of these people I consider some of my best friends, and some of us drive, some of us are athletes, but we're traveling around doing media and all kinds of things, announcing, and just always fun to catch up with them, and talk about, friends, and friends become family, and definitely motorsports play a big part of that for me, at least. But I gotta thank all of you for tuning in each and every week, listen to me yak at you, and I appreciate it. And our iTunes numbers have gone through the roof the past couple of weeks since this post. You guys subscribing on iTunes, some of you not listening live, not listening in national syndication, downloading us as a podcast later on. I appreciate it. Those of you who haven't, iTunes, definitely download our shows and subscribe. Also our app, and you can give me a follow at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter. It's at AmyHood71 on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook.com/DownAndDirtyShow or DownAndDirtyShow.com for all those back episodes. Couldn't do it without Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, KC Highlights, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish Rally School, MTX Audio, Impact, Terracross, Blue Water Resort and Casino. Shout out to Jarod, Bucky, Joe Duncan, Amy Houde, and all of you for tuning in each and every week. Lots more to come. Lots of good stuff. Trust me, you want to hang on for this ride because we are just getting started. And be safe. And as always, remember, game on.